I'm fine. Morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Daily Peak. I'm so tired, but not nearly as tired as usual. I'm just normal tired, which is great. That's an improvement. Just a little leapy. Anyways, hello and welcome back to the Daily Peak. I'm gonna go ahead and take my morning meds now, alongside cracking open this Lost and Found Orange Scream energy drink. If you guys have morning meds to take and you haven't taken them yet, and also it's morning for you, you just take them now. Anyway, Jesus. Just hit my mic control. Pop the Wednesday one. I'm very twitchy this morning, it seems. I've flinched like 4 times from lightly touching objects on my desk. Anyway, let me go ahead and boot up the game. And swap to gameplay view. Yay! Hello. I'm so brainy today. I'm having my Asiago bagel with just so much shredded cheese on there, just heaped on. Yeah. I'm still having TTRPG thoughts. I stopped thinking about Lancer for a little bit, so I could think about Pathfinder. Because, I'm working on a setting for that. Dungeoneers of Croya. Which is looking to be really cool. I'm reworking a lot of this stuff. Because like every new draft I've done in a new like tab of the document, basically. And in this newest one I'm actually focusing in on the dungeon stuff. Whereas previously I've mostly just been doing a lot of world details. And so far I'm mostly just doing the lore writing. Fucking hate it when it's fucking blue out here, man. Yeah, mostly just doing lore writing at the moment. I'm planning to move into doing some mechanical stuff pretty soon, but not quite there yet. I'm almost there though. I'm like really close. One of the big things is I just need to firmly define a lot of the mechanical stuff for... I forgot to turn up my music. Anyway, I need to more firmly define a lot of the mechanical stuff. Dungeoneers of Croya is the name of the setting guide. Technically the setting itself is just called Croya. And I've been thinking about changing it because it sounds too much like LaCroix, but I haven't had any good ideas of what to change it to, so it's Croya for now. Yeah, Dungeoneers of Croya is about a world which has, mega dungeons in it. They just kind of crop up places. They are practically naturally occurring. In actuality, there's, a weird class of Mad Mage who makes them, but they are effectively forces of nature, as described by the setting. So, you know. But yeah, the point of adventuring in this setting is to do mega dungeon exploration. So you're basically going not quite hexploration. There's point of interest tiles in dungeons or whatever. But it's pretty close to it as you're trying to survive inside of a dungeon for weeks at a time. I figured out a lot of the world outside of the dungeons. I've got some general conflicts there, but I'm trying not to put in too many proper nouns, because I want people to be able to fill in those details themselves. So it's yeah, I'm from a town in X country, because I want to deal with the themes relevant to there. Is there any towns there? No, you get to make up a town. You get to decide shit. It's even on the level of you make up the deities you worship. Because one of the big details of the setting is that they have what I am calling small gods. You know, the fucking the book or whatever. Anyway, proper nouns, the curse of world building. Yes, thank you very much for acknowledging me, Pyrite. But yeah, it's down to the level of you can create the god you worship, because deities in this setting have relatively small domains. So there's no, god of fire, and the lore explanation of this is that, every deity needs to use, conscious, effort to manage their domain. So the larger a domain gets, the more a deity will retreat from the world, until its entire brain is devoted just to managing its domain. So that means that most, a god of fire would have a domain so big that it would be physically incapable of interacting with the world, because it has to manage every fire. It has to think about all of them all the time. So the only deities that people actually practically worship are on a very small scale, because those are the ones that you can literally walk up to and interact with. You can worship fire in the abstract, and it kinda works. but like you're more likely to form a very personal relationship with a deity who is quite literally local to where you live. And these deities are created via a level of like emotional attachment, kind of attracting divine magic to an object or location or whatever. Because divine magic in the setting is very emotionally based. And so if you have a lot of associations with a thing, not just you, if a lot of people have a lot of associations with a thing, that gets tied up with divine magic and makes a god. And it's like, oh yeah, that is the god of that mountain over there. Or like, the god of this river. Or the god of our, like, local royal family. Because that can also happen. And you worship these small gods who are very local to your town, very specific to not necessarily your interests, but like, you know. And like what deity you are choosing to worship says a lot about you in this context. And like the environment you were raised in or whatever. Because your deity is always going to be a manifestation of like local beliefs and stuff. I think it's a really cool way to do it. And it means that I don't have to, like, make a pantheon and all of the, like, dramatic events that occur in the mythology. And I don't have to make anyone memorize that pantheon. No, you get to... Gods are small guys. You can keep them in your pocket. And it's worshipped on a local enough scale that you get to make them when you make your character. I really like the amount of customizability that I'm building into a lot of this. Because I'm, like, doing my best to, make it so every player has the opportunity to make, like, a substantial role in the world building of, like, the world outside the dungeons. And when you get inside, it's kind of your GM's domain, but, you know, you've got all of these, like, resources and shit. When I was making test characters and just kind of brainstorming stuff in the setting, one of the ideas I came up with was a witch who is devoted to a god so small that she's the only worshipper. That's not enough to make a god, but it's enough to sustain a god, because the rest of her town was wiped out, and she is trying to nurture this divinity, which is the last remnant of her town that she has access to. And help it grow into a stronger form. So it's a little like the spirit fox. And that's a perfectly viable story. That works with all of the lore that I've set up. And it's really fucking cool. Because it's like, yeah, I'm going into dungeons not just to, like, you know, get wealth or whatever. I am training my god to become stronger. I think it's a really solid story. Yeah. I really like that character, by the way. I'm probably gonna shove them in somewhere just because I think they're cool. Yeah. Making test characters for the setting, just to like go through some of the mechanical details has resulted in me doing a lot of like, oh, I could do X and Y with this world building. Because again, it's all very like customizable. It's basically modular. Like when you're determining where you've come from in the world, you get the opportunity to crack open the toolbox and do some writing. And it's like, you don't have to, but it gives you a lot of freedom to do that if that is what you want to do. And you can simplify it to the level of just like, I was a mercenary and I decided to get into dungeon. And that's also fine. Yeah. I'm really excited about the direction I've taken. Where the fuck did that med kit go? There it is. Got all the way down this fucking hill. Yeah, I'm going through, I'm refreshing the world building, and I'm very excited as to where it's headed. I'm doing a good job with my TTRPG writing. I'm also still working on that Lancer campaign I mentioned the other day. That's going well. I don't have a lot to, like, say about it in terms of, you know... Like, there's nothing big happening that I didn't mention last time. It's just going well. Is a little extra writing, but nothing to write home about. I need to get more details for the next mission in there. Oh, and I need to keep working on Urbex. It's been a minute since I've done anything for that one. Urbex being the full system that I've dedicated myself to creating. Just to see if I can, really. And I'm also going for a very, like, heavily modular theme with that as well. I think I'm noticing something that I like to do in my various creative works, which is leave a lot of it up to the player. Oh, there's magma here. Hell yeah. And a kingberry. Yeah, I can get rid of the lollipop. And I'll hold it for a minute just in case I can, like, scale a cliff right next to me, but, you know. Yeah, I'll drink a sports drink. Or not. Nope. This looks like a good place to use a lollipop. Oh, lovely. I didn't immediately realize that it would do its best to kill me by outpacing the whoops. Okay, well, that was a poorly timed jump. I'll eat that. Lantern versus EP. Fight. Like, I'm on the level of fucking... I'm just gonna use up the rest of this lantern because it's so low. Plus I got a cure-all in my bag, so I can always just touch magma. That helps with the cold. Oh, rep cannon. Nice. I'll swap out this. I'm gonna throw it that way and hope that it helps. Didn't. Ah well. Doing my best. Oh, having recovery fungus would be really useful in the event that I can, like, put myself in the headspace of I need to chuck this as hard as I can while I'm falling off a cliff. Remedy fungus. I feel like I always call it something different. Angel in paradise. Ooh. No, that's a bad idea, I think. I can go over here, and that looks much more climbable. Nice. Okay. my, like, route-finding brain is struggling. I feel like this is difficult moment-to-moment tropics, but not like overall. I'm having brain waves as I try and fail to pathfind through all of this. It's doing things to me. It could also just be the tired, but you know. Fuck it, if I can't play a perfect peak game after just having woken up, I can't play a perfect peak game at any time. My decision-making brain should not be necessary for any part of this. That's what the true mountain goat run is gonna be about, is gonna be fixing your fucking prefrontal cortex into being able to play peak instinctively. Yeah, that's a route for my brain to go. I don't know if that's an appropriate thing to say on fucking YouTube, but my brain's just like, yeah, most of the puppy girls I know are some of the, like, greatest anarchists I know. You know? It's like, you know, in the bedroom, they want to be told exactly what to do. Because in society, they'll never accept being told what to do. It's like, yeah, I think there's a link there, but is that a YouTube thought? Is it a YouTube thought, brain? Just so you know, I have heavily sanitized that thought. It is legitimately fascinating. I think it has to do with taboos in different communities. Like, what is viewed as taboo in an anarchist community versus, like, traditional society. Because taking orders doesn't seem like an especially notable taboo in most of society. But when you hit like an anarchist circle where it's like blindly following orders is literally anathema, then it's, you know, more of a taboo, more of an interesting time. So anyways, if you ever need somewhere to hide from the cops, find your local puppy player. Statistically speaking, radical anarchist. Pointing at the guy in the pup mask. It is very fun to do psychological analysis of, like, weird kink stuff. Because a lot of the things that you would expect to be, like, you know, weird conservative fantasies, are fully, like, on the other side of the political spectrum. Because it's not a weird conservative fantasy, it's what the weird conservatives want to be a reality. So it's not a taboo, it's just doctrine. Like, Stepfordization, why would I be into that? That's how women should be acting already. Like, oh yeah, that wouldn't be particularly taboo for you, would it? It's also very fun how your brain will respond to, like, trauma and mental illness by developing kinks because you have weird taboos. And it's like, yeah, if all of society thought like you, that would be a kind of normal thing, but... You're like a gifted kid with academic trauma, so... Blech. I want to talk about this a lot more with more details, but again, I feel like I will get nuked by YouTube. I'm only feeling like taking a risk because I'm small enough that there's no way YouTube cares. And even that's a double-edged sword, because they don't care either way, you know? It is, not a loss to just nuke my channel. Like, it just ain't. I feel like I'm getting through the tropics much more reliably. I'm doing a pretty good job with that. Also, I've decided to take up, cooking my backpack an additional level every time I hit a campfire. So it's incinerated by the time you hit the, peak. Because there's no mechanical upside or downside to incinerating your backpack, so... Like, it still functions exactly the same. Expert level cactus dodge there, by the way. You don't fucking see that? I jumped it. The tornado looks kind of choppy, almost. But not in a bad way. It looks like it's at a lower frame rate, but like intentionally so. Like in Spider-Verse, one of the first movies I can think of that used differentiating frame rates to really emphasize the differences between characters. Like that tornado felt like it was doing like 4 frames a second while everything else was doing 20. So but like in a way where it felt stylized and kind of cool to look at. Like, this is not a critique. It's a comment. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I feel like I haven't hit any major problems this run yet, which is making me real concerned for what we're gonna face in the Mesa. Despite the fact that it's like my second favorite biome. The only one that tops it is the caldera. And I mostly like the caldera just because it looks cool. Like, it's also mechanically interesting, don't get me wrong, but it's not, like, super mechanically interesting, you know? It's just, like, rising and lowering lava on a timer. And it, like, it plays with heat in a fun way that the game otherwise didn't do at the time of its release, but does now with the Mesa. They do a lot of heat-based. So again, like, it was more interesting when it first, like, when the game was in its earlier stages. But nowadays, it's, you know, mechanically it's not super interesting. I do think it looks very cool. That's kind of where my favoritism comes from. It just is a very cool looking biome. Meanwhile, the Mesa, I like how it plays with environmental heat, and it presents both heat and cold as a very credible threat. So you're managing both of them when you're in these higher difficulty runs. And you can kind of use that to your advantage, but also, gets tricky. And the Mesa has a ton of unique items, which I'm also very into. Huh. I thought red prickleberries had lines on them and gold ones did. I thought both red and golden prickleberries had lines on them, but it seems that the red ones are plain now. They both have the same effect as far as I can tell. Maybe gold restores more hunger, but... which is wild. Usually the fruit with lines on it is the more poisonous one. Yes, I play with colorblind mode because it makes identifying poisonous fruit easier. They are relatively consistent in labeling the poisonous ones with straight lines. But it starts to get a little messed up when you go into berry nanas and prickleberries. TNT. TNT Beyond. I just realized I was singing the one D&D Beyond ad. That was a really catchy ad. Even though I don't play D&D anymore, because Wizards of the Coast called the Pinkertons on a guy. And I don't have any problems with Wizards of the Coast, but I put a lot of conscious effort into not supporting the Pinkertons wherever possible. That would be the funniest way to phrase that. No, I just don't like, you know, a lot of the practices of Wizards of the Coast, and I think they're doing some bad with how they're managing D&D, especially now that I've gotten more into like the design of TTRPG systems. I feel like it's a system that puts a lot of like undue stress on the GM. Like, you're having to manage a lot more than you should. And there is kind of an expectation, even, that you know all of the rules in the place of your players. Like, it's a weird community thing. Where it's like, D&D is marketing itself as being super accessible to people who don't know the rules, but also as a side effect, the community has developed like a, I don't know, weird antithetical nature to D&D having rules, or games in general having rules, even. Like, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but, the very, you know, pick the rules you want, you can throw away anything, mentality, means that a lot of people who are playing D&D are just kind of like doing group RP, and it's like D&D flavored. Because you're not playing with the rules of the game, you're not playing the game. You're RPing with your friends, and that's cool too. You can do that, but D&D is a game which has been designed very carefully. I say very carefully designed, but there are some conflicts because D&D is in some part catering to that audience, which is very like, yeah, throw out whatever rules you want. And so there's some like conflicting stuff in there. I'm not gonna card out examples right now because I'm tired and can't think of them. But I know they exist. It's just, It's a fine system. If you're playing by the rules, it like works. If you're not playing by the rules, it still mostly works, kinda. Cooked sports drink, hell yeah. Did that scorpion also get cooked? Maybe, but it also got knocked off, so. I don't know. I'm not gonna express any of these thoughts very coherently right now, because oh no. Because I'm tired. I'm sure I'll write a rant post about it on, like, Tumblr or something eventually. And everyone will read it and be so entertained, and they'll applaud. They'll applaud when they're done reading it. Just in their own homes. Sorry, I went totally silent from the stress of taking fire damage. I was like, gotta move fast, gotta move fast, gotta move fast, gotta move fast. Balloon Bunch, really good item to find. Really enjoying having a Balloon Bunch already. Look at the amount of stamina I have. Hi, Scorpion. I love that you can just casually reset the sting timer on the Scorpions. He's like, hey buddy, you wanna sting me? No. Bad Scorpion. Now let me cook you. Like... Which, to be fair, ideal partner right there. Let me cook you. Ooh. Lovely. Oh. Oh, that'll cook that sports drink. And also that sunscreen, which is less ideal, but, you know. I still really want to know if sunscreen will protect you from blizzards, based on my theory about the environmental lighting being the, like, key determining factor in whether or not you're taking temperature damage. Because I still think it would be incredibly funny to put on sunscreen to walk through a blizzard. You'd have to be playing with some kind of randomizer to get it, but, you know. Maybe they could add temperature paste. Does the exact same thing as sunscreen, but it's a self-apply only. And it just, also protects you from cold. I should really be looking where I'm going, huh? Said in the perfectly even tone I use when I'm about to fucking have a heart attack. I don't know if I actually needed to use a rope dart there, but it's already in the wall, so I'm not gonna think about it. Which is so much healthier than usual. I'm doing great at therapy and shit. Sorry, my therapist complimented me and said that I was doing a really good job at, you know, emotional awareness recently, and I'm still riding that high. therapist was like, yeah, you're doing a really good job at, breaking dissociation, recognizing your emotions, and I'm just out here like, I got a good grade in therapy. Normal to want, possible to achieve. I fucking did it. I got a good grade in therapy. It legitimately feels great to, like, be doing well enough over the last couple weeks to, like, actually get, like, compliments from my therapist about it. Like, very concrete recognition. Because that's just what I've needed my whole life, is very concrete recognition, you know? I am aware enough of my emotions to know that I did not get enough compliments as a kid, and it really messed with me. I'm just gonna wait for this to clear up, actually. But yeah, in case anyone's curious why I'm like this, lack of positive reinforcement. Tell your kids they're doing a good job, or else they'll end up a streamer. But you know, one of the, like, big, like, emotionally complicated things I'm dealing with, I'm sorry, this has turned into therapy hour now. You're all trapped here. One of the big pieces of, like, emotional complexity that I've been dealing with is, I've grown up in an environment that was abusive, but not on purpose. And I do not blame my parents for it, because they're similarly, like, very traumatized from, like, working in the ER and all that. So there is an element of emotional neglect there, because they were dissociating as heavily as I am dissociating, or as I was dissociating just recently, but am getting better at now. It's like, I know how hard it is to think about anything like that, because I have also had to experience it. And there's a level of, like, a wrong has been done to me, but I can't blame any of the people who did it. So there's no one to, like, be angry at, really, or, like, direct rage at. Which puts you in a weird headspace. Because it's like I've been wronged by society, and you can keep that up for a while, but society is way too abstract of a goal. I don't know, I was mad at my maternal grandfather for a while, but, you know, he's just, like, mentally ill. He was going full-on American fascist for a while there, but he has a dog now, and he's fine. That was just like a after effects of the pandemic situation. You know, he found a warped kind of community in that environment, and can't blame him for it. It's not like we were visiting. And as he has found other things to fill his life with, he's doing better. So yeah, not really anyone to get mad at, and that puts you in some weird, emotionally complex places. I'm dealing with it, though. As you can tell, because I got a good grade in therapy. I'm gonna keep... that's... There, I'm going on a proud of myself kick, and, you know, a couple years back, maybe I would have been like, oh, this is too self-aggrandizing. You know, I don't need to be this proud of myself. But now I know I do need to be this proud of myself. Because I didn't get enough positive reinforcement as a kid. So fuck it, I'm gonna reinforce myself. I did good at therapy. I'm amazing at regulating my emotions, and I am so fucking good at peak. I've been on the brink of tears for like 10 minutes now, and I'm still rocking this shit. Oh, I'm close enough to the campfire that the sun doesn't hurt anymore. I could probably use these little sandy areas as steppies, but I don't want to risk it. I'm even liking my art more. It's totally alien to me to like create something and then enjoy the thing I created. I know, right? Because historically I've been either like emotionally absent or overly self-critical about a lot of my art. But now I've been able to enjoy the things that I have made, and still be critical and still like have that analytical mind that I can improve at the art. Some like part of my brain used to be like, you gotta hate on everything you make because that's the only way you improve, and that's a lie. You can like the stuff that you make. In fact, you probably should. It's a lot better for you. And we're coming up on my favorite biome. Sorry, I put myself in a good mood. Sorry, I put myself in a good mood. Yup. Good grade at therapy. Burnt backpack. I'll take the marshmallow instead of the bandages because I need food more than I need health. I've got a first aid kit in my bag, so it's not a huge issue. Off chance it... Okay, well now I'd like to have that bandage. I fucked up a 5-foot fall. Not even. A meter at most. Yeah, hi guys, you all get to see all 5 of my viewers on YouTube. Jesus Christ! You all get to see me be happy for some of the first times in my life. Hope you're enjoying it. God, therapy does wonders sometimes, you know? Initially, I thought it wasn't gonna do much for me, but it turns out I had a really bad therapist. This is a weird conservative type. I'm sure she's right for someone. Definitely not right for me, though. To reframe it in a kind of, you know, less aggressive sense, I'm sure someone else would have been very helped by the interactions they had. I spent a lot of time talking about ideology and not my problems. One of those things, like my current therapist mostly just lets me talk, and in the like painful suffering that is the silence in between two sentences in a conversation, I will fully just admit to stuff and discover things on my own. So they're only really saying things when they're like prompting me to continue talking or continue on a like specific line of thought. Meanwhile, you know, my other therapist was doing a lot of like questioning me. This isn't good. But it wasn't about anything that was helpful, because again, I spent a lot of time talking about ideology. And that meant that a lot of the questions were about, like, why do you believe X? And it's like, you were raised conservative or some shit. There's no way you're adapting to this, like, ideology here. You know, I am an outspoken anarchist. We are just not going to get along. Okay, I'm gonna use the Remedy Fungus now on that little bit of health I'm missing. Because I can't really use it as full protection this late in the game anyway. By the way, for all of the 7 people on YouTube who weren't watching when I started, I'm on Ascent 7. This is goat mode. This is no revives level. Just so you're clear on the risks here. I'm doing it solo, so it's actually, you know, exactly as difficult as the previous Ascent. Because I've always been doing it solo, which means no revives. But you know. I am at Ascent 7. I'm on the maximum level for my daily peak. And I'm just kind of waiting for the lava to go down. I could try and cook my thick mints real quick. There we go. Just kind of cook it on a hot rock. And I can have a snack of those real quick. God fucking damn it. That's like the 4th time this has happened. Well, it's determined to force me off of every pillar I'm standing on. Oh, this isn't gonna go well. Oh no. Okay, well, we're gonna wait this out, because it's not implausible that the heat goes away in time. But there's a very real chance that it doesn't. Okay. Like 2 health bars of heat, we're halfway. How fast is it gonna tick down? Is it going to be enough for me to, like, briefly regain consciousness? I took fire damage for some reason. No, the lava's rising back up. It didn't give me enough time. Damn it. Yeah, Pyrite's right. Firestorm is sentient and hates me specifically, because it got me 3 times during this Caldera run. Alright, we were really close to the end on that one, guys. Almost finished Ascent 7. But sadly, our body will never be discovered. And sadly, I will have to end off today's Daily Peak here. Because, of course, that is the rules of the game every time. Go until you die. Once a day. So, thank you to everyone who has turned up. Please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed what you saw today, and would like to be notified when tomorrow's Daily Peak starts. Roughly 24 hours from now. Well, 23. Anyway. And I will see all of you guys then. Jesus, all 8 of you on YouTube. Wow! It is a shame I gotta end the stream here because of the rules of the series, but what can you do? What can you do? But yeah, check out the rest of the Daily Peak series if you're enjoying this. And I will see all of you guys tomorrow. Oh my god. Look at the background at my health bar. It's regenerated. If there wasn't a death timer, I could have been fine by now. I say that, the only reason it's regenerated that much is because I'm taking stacking cold damage from being dead. So never mind. Alright. Thanks to everyone who turned up. I appreciate all of your viewership, and I will see all of you guys tomorrow. Bye!